Hello everyone, this is Sam from Language Atlas, and in this video I'd like to show you the Dutch A1 vocabulary Anki deck. In this video we will go over three things. First, I'd like to show the course structure of the Dutch A1 vocabulary Anki deck. Second, I'd like to show the course content. And third, I'd like to show you some brief editing options. Now we can see that I have the Dutch A1 vocabulary Anki deck right over here. Now normally you would double click to open it, but I've already done so, as you can see right over here. I will maximize Anki, and I'd like to get started with my first point, which is to show you the course structure. Now this is the overall Dutch A1 vocabulary Anki deck, and inside it we see 9 chapters. Chapter 1 pronouns, Chapter 2 conjunctions, Chapter 3 verbs, Chapter 4 determiners, Chapter 5 nouns, Chapter 6 adjectives, Chapter 7 adverbs, Chapter 8 prepositions, and finally Chapter 9 numbers. Now in front of Chapter 5 nouns, we see a little plus icon. If I click on it, you would see that there are subdecks inside it, 20 to be precise. Now what I've done is that I've categorized nouns by theme, and I've made a deck for each and every theme. So it ranges from academia and intellect, to directions, to home, to society and economy, all the way to transportation. Now, whenever you wish to practice a certain theme, you're able to do so. Now that was it for my first point to show the course structure. I'd like to go to my second point, which is to show the course content. And I'll do so by having a look at 3 Anki decks within the overall Dutch A1 vocabulary Anki deck. I will look at one for Chapter 5 nouns, which is home to be precise. I will look at Chapter 6 adjectives, and then Chapter 3 verbs. This is so you can get a taste for what's inside the overall Dutch A1 vocabulary Anki deck. I will get started with Chapter 5 nouns, and I will click on home, and then study now. Now, let me tell you a bit about what you see. Now, this is the first card type. We see a Dutch sentence, and we see 2 blank areas. Underneath that, we see the English translation of a Dutch sentence with a certain part bolded and underlined, the driver in this case. Now, it's your job to know what the driver is in Dutch. Finally, we see a picture, and this picture is a representation of the sentence. To be a bit more precise, even that, it's a representation of the word you see. Now, why is this the case? This is because many studies have shown that it's easier to understand something and memorize it if you have a visual representation. So this will really help you memorize and understand the Dutch word for the driver. Let's see what the correct answer is.
De chauffeur bracht ons veilig naar huis. De chauffeur, een chauffeur. De chauffeurs.
Great. So the answer was the chauffeur. Now there are 3 areas. We have a sentence area, we have a singular area, and we have a plural area. I'll get started with the sentence area. You can see right over here, this is the correct sentence. We were looking for the Dutch word de chauffeur. Now you may have noticed that it's bolded and it's in blue. Now why is this the case? That is because in Dutch we have the words, de, and we have het words, het. Now most nouns in Dutch are the, but there are also a significant amount of nouns that have het. And this color coding helps you memorize, like, oh, whenever I see a de word, it will be in blue. Whenever I see a het word, it will be in green. This will allow you to memorize it a lot better, and you get like an aha moment, like, okay, blue de, green het. So this will be to your advantage. Underneath the sentence, we have an IPA notation. Now this is here, so if you need a bit of help with the pronunciation, this can help you a lot. Now, of course, some people like to rely on audio, but for those that want IPA, this will help you a lot. We have underneath that, we have the English translation of the Dutch sentence. And finally, we have the audio.
De chauffeur bracht ons veilig naar huis.
Underneath that, we have the singular area. We have de chauffeur, een chauffeur. So in the definite and in the indefinite form. We have the IPA notation, again, for your pronunciation. We have the English translation and the audio as well.
De chauffeur, een chauffeur.
Finally, we have the plural area. So we have the plural form, the chauffeurs. We have the IPA notation. And finally, we have the translation. So again, the IPA notation helps for pronunciation and the audio.
De chauffeurs.
So these are the fields. Let's do another card. The class went to the museum by bus yesterday. The class. How do you say the class in Dutch?
De klas ging gisteren met de bus naar het museum. De klas, een klas. De klassen.
Great. So we see the same setup. We have the sentence area, and again, this part is bolded and in blue. So you immediately know, okay, this is the word. We have the IPA notation, sentence, audio, single area as well, plural area as well. Let's continue. The pub is cozy. How do you say the pub in Dutch?
De kroeg is gezellig. De kroeg, een kroeg. De kroegen.
Great. Again, same notation, sentence, singular, plural. Let's continue. The contractor is going to renovate the kitchen next week. How do you say the kitchen?
De aannemer gaat de keuken volgende week verbouwen. De keuken, een keuken. De keukens.
Great. Now this is an interesting one. The architect could not find the pencil among all the paper. How do you say the pencil in Dutch?
De architect kon het potlood niet vinden tussen al het papier. Het potlood, een potlood. De potloden.
Now you may have noticed a difference because now het potlood is in green. And the reason for that is because it's a het word. Now a lot of the words in Dutch are de, but there's also a significant portion that are het words. So now you can see immediately this will help you a lot when it comes to memorizing whether a word is de or whether a word is het. The color coding will really help you. So het potlood. And I could continue like this, but I think you get the picture. Now, I would like to show you the second car type. Now, we've already seen this sentence before. The driver brought us home safely. But now you have to type in the correct word. And this really tests whether you can spell the word correctly. Now, let's see what happens if I enter the chauffeur.
De chauffeur bracht ons veilig naar huis. De chauffeur, een chauffeur. De chauffeurs.
Great. So I typed in the word correctly. And whenever you do that, Anki shows it in green. So it's an immediate feedback, like, okay, you got the answer correct, it's in green. However, what happens if you do not know the correct answer? Let's say you make a mistake. Let's say I do something like this.
De klas ging gisteren met de bus naar het museum. De klas, een klas. De klassen.
So you can see right over here, I have made some mistakes. First of all, it's the class, not het class. And class is written with a K and it ends with an S. And I've written it with a C and a Z or a Z. Now, whatever I had wrong, Anki shows in red. And underneath that, you see the correct answer. So it shows you, okay, this is what you had and this is what you should have had. So green is what you had, and gray is what you should have had. Now, this is, again, immediate feedback. Anki helps you to correctly spell the word. So if it's correct, everything will be in green. And in this case, it's not, so it gives you my feedback. Now, I could continue like this, but I think you get the picture. More spelling. And we had this before. So that was the deck for nouns that I wanted to show you. I'd like to go to adjectives now. I will click on Study Now. And I'd like to show you this one. The hungry baby is crying for milk. How do you say hungry? And again, the same setup we've seen before. We see a Dutch sentence with a blank area. We see a picture right over here and hungry.
De hongerige baby huilt om melk. Hongerig, hongerige.
Great. So you may have noticed a little bit of a difference over here, which is that the correct answer right now is portrayed as indigo. Now this has no particular meaning. The only reason that the correct answer is in indigo is so you can immediately spot the correct answer. So you don't have to look for a sentence. You see like, aha, indigo, this is the one that I was looking for. And this is the case for all cards, except for, of course, the nouns where they did have a meaning. Blue for de words and green for het words. So the correct answer here is de hongerige baby huilt om melk. And hongerige was the word that we're looking for. We have the IPA notation, we have the English translation, and we have the audio.
De hongerige baby huilt om melk.
And we have here the adjective area where we see the adjective in its base form and in its inflected form. We have the IPA notation, we have the English translation, and we have the audio.
Hongerig, hongerige.
And you hear both of them. Let's do another one. The local baker sells fresh bread. How do you say local?
De lokale bakker verkoopt vers brood. Lokaal, lokale.
And again, same setup. Lokale was the right answer. It's noted in indigo, so you can immediately spot it. IP notation, English translation, audio.
De lokale bakker verkoopt vers brood.
And we have the adjective area where we see the adjective in its base form and in its inflected form. IP notation, English translation, audio.
Lokaal, lokale.
The little boy plays outside. How do you say little?
De kleine jongen speelt buiten. Klein, kleine.
And de kleine jongen speelt buiten. Kleine was the right answer. The only option is waiting. Only.
De enige optie is wachten. Enig, enige.
Let's do one more. The main reason is money. How do you say main?
De belangrijkste reden is geld. Belangrijkste.
And I could continue like this, but I think you get the picture. More exercises, and then we get to the spelling part that you saw before already. That was chapter 6, adjectives. I'd like to go to the final one that I'd like to show you, which is chapter 3, verbs. Click on it, click on study now. And again, same setup. Ben je hier om te, underscore, are you here to help? And a picture. And it's your job to know what to help is in Dutch. Let's have a look.
Ben je hier om te helpen? Helpen.
Same setup. With the sentence area, we have the correct word bolded in indigo so you can immediately spot it. We have the answer as well, which is helpen. And there's one thing that I really like to note here is that all the verb cards are in the full verb form. So we have here to help in English, and we have here helpen in Dutch. Now, this is very important because once you know the full verb form, this is sometimes called infinitive, once you know the full verb form, it is easier to conjugate it. So the base form, the most important form of every verb is the infinitive form, the full verb form, helpen. And once you know that, it becomes so much easier to conjugate. So all the exercises are in the full verb form. Are you ready to leave? How do you say to leave?
Ben je klaar om te vertrekken? Vertrekken.
So vertrekken is the right answer here. Did you forget to fill the bottle? To fill.
Ben je vergeten de fles te vullen? Vullen.
Ben je vergeten de fles te vullen? Vullen is the correct answer. That is really not going to happen. To happen.
Dat gaat echt niet gebeuren. Gebeuren.
Great. Let's do one more. The journalist is interviewing the mayor. Interviewing.
De journalist is de burgemeester aan het interviewen. Interviewen.
Great. And I could continue like this, but we would end up with the typing exercise that we've seen before, and you already know this. So that was my second point to show you the course content. I'd like to go to my third and final point, which is to show you some brief editing options. Now, a lot of people have asked me, how do I regulate the amount of cards that I do per day, and what are the best settings? I'll show them to you now. So next to the Dutch A1 vocabulary deck, we have this little icon. You click on this, and you click on options. And this new window opens, and you see daily limits. You see new cards per day, and you see maximum reviews per day. If you want to change the amount of new cards you see per day, you can do so here. Currently 50, but I could make them 30, for example. And you can see I can change the reviews as well. A nice little trick is to do whatever this number is here by 10. And Anki gives you advices as well. So 30, we make it 300. And you can see the numbers changed. I can change them back again. The window opens. I can change them from 15 to 150. And the numbers changed. I think if you are a beginner, just start learning languages, maybe new to Anki, 15 new, 150 is a really nice amount. Every day you do 15 new cards and 150 reviews. May seem like a lot, but you go through them, bam, just like that. But of course, you can always lower them. You can make this 5 if you want. You can make this 50 if you want. Whatever it is you feel comfortable with, just do it. I think for me, 15 and 150 is a very decent amount. One more thing I'd like to show you. If you go down, you see this area over here, FSRS. This is essentially a different algorithm. Anki has a default algorithm, and this is a new one. So the algorithm determines which cards you see every day. I highly recommend that you use this one. A lot of research has been going into this, and it's essentially a more effective algorithm than the standard Anki one. So what you do is you turn this on. I already have it on, as you see. And for desired retention, I recommend that you enter 90 here. So one more time, all the default settings that I would recommend: 50 new cards, 150 reviews, and turn this on and click on 90% here. And then click on save. Now, that was what I wanted to share with you. I really hope you enjoyed my overview and explanation of the Dutch A1 vocabulary Anki deck. You can get the Anki deck at languageatlas.com. I repeat, languageatlas.com. I will share all the links in the comment section in the description, so you can have a look over there as well. I'd like to thank you so very much for watching this video. I'd like to wish you the best of luck with learning Dutch. Have a great day. Goodbye.